It is an MMA legend. We'll just throw it out there. An MMA legend and my friend Vitor Belfort. And once again, a PFL Challenger Series judge. Let's start there. We got a lot to talk about, but let's start there. PFL Challenger Series judge. I want to ask you about that because, man, you're helping decide the future of these athletes. I know how passionate you are about the sport, so I wonder, is it fun for you? Is it stressful for you? Is it a little scary because you're going to say yes or no to these young athletes and what their future is about?
It is very joyful. It is a joy. And like I said, the no today is the yes tomorrow. That's what I learned. And some no's is going to help the fighters come stronger next time. That's what it is about. Life's about failing. And I mean, if Michael Jordan didn't get the no on university, he would not be Michael Jordan. And that's his life. You just got to take it. And I'm there, as you know. No one knows more than me because I've been there, and I think I have the totally authority to coach a fighter, to judge a fighter, and to help a fighter. And at the end of the day, you have your job. I have my job to be there because of the fighters. And I realize and I understand the fighters are the asset of any institution. So I think it's a very wise thing for PFL to bring us to be able to kind of be there and to help them navigate into this. That's why they have the celebrity panel, and I'm very happy to be part of it.
Yeah, it's Friday night for anybody that hasn't seen it. It's live and free on Fubo Sports Network. You can tune in and watch it every Friday night. And let me ask you, Vitor, as you're evaluating the talent, what are you most looking for? Because we know that this is an interesting sport, right? Because it is about skills, it is about talent, it is about winning. But there's also something else in this sport about the entertainment side as well, right? It's kind of a blend, more so maybe than other sports. So when you're evaluating this talent, what are you looking for? Is it just the result in the cage, or is it about their story? Is it about their personality? Like, what most speaks to you in terms of what you're looking for?
So the number one is your skills. Khabib is one of the best fighters in the world. His personality is just quiet. He never trying to sell anything, and he's one of the greatest. And you have in the all that sphere, you have like Conor McGregor, Chael Sonnen, people that they have the package. They are great fighters, and I think it's the whole package. And of course, perfect world, you have the whole package. But in PFL, that's the beauty of PFL. PFL, it's a tournament that give you a chance. I don't care if you're quiet or not. You got to be a killer. That's what PFL is looking for. So, and if you're a great fighter, that's going to give you the opportunity to get that $1 million bag waiting for you. So that's the only I think PFL is the only structure of tournament structure that you can even lose during the when you get your contract and you fight for PFL. You can lose and still win the $1 million. So it's more like the sport that we know, like NFL, NBA. You have a chance to lose and still win. Of course, the playoffs it's very important, but I mean, I think it's give you that chance even to start on the series and become a champion on the tournament. So it's pretty amazing. But of course, you want to have the whole package if you can, and you got to remember, when you're in a camera, you're always entertaining someone. I don't care if you're doing an interview. We're here entertaining a lot of people. They can tune off whatever they want, but I hope they're not. I think they're being entertained by me and you.
No trouble. Well, look, it's called a celebrity panel, but I mean, celebrity doesn't begin to describe you. You're still a fighter. You're staying busy. You're about to box. You're going to box Jacare. How did this all come together? This is incredible.
Yes, I supposed to box Roy Jones Jr., but he picked an easier fighter. I don't mind. I mean, it's all business. He picked Anthony Pettis. I think that's not what the fans wanted to see. Everybody wants to see me and Roy Jones Jr. But I mean, who knows when he's gonna say yes? He said I'm lefty, this and this and that. I have respect for the guy, and I know he's looking for a business. So, but I mean, it's time for my thing is I want to put my dreams to put these two sports together. That's why I invented this glove. This called the BMA gloves. I've been challenging any boxers to fight me on these rules where I'll be able to grab. So it's time for I want to please this to Zingano. I hope Zingano see this in Tyson Fury. It's time for us to bring pay-per-view to the next level. We want to sell 10 million pay-per-view, 12 million pay-per-view. And I believe we can only go there if Zingano box with Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua with these gloves. And what this glove does, doesn't allow your fingers to poke, so you protect it. You can cover your thumb if you want. The idea you can grab. So the hand fighting, how important the hand fighting. So it's time for us boxers to accept. We bring this new sport that I have in mind. I have been talking about. It's called BMA. BMA is what I did for MMA. I brought boxing into the UFC. I was the number one guy who brought boxing, legitimate skills as a boxer. I could not do both sports. I remember when they offered me the contract, they want me to go box. They brought Muhammad Ali. I had a lunch in LA with this lawyer, and they want me to go box, but they want me to leave UFC. And I said, I cannot live. This is my passion. If I can do both, I'll do it. But they never allow me. And back then, you can box, even doing MMA. I could box, and it was before Dana and Lorenzo bought the UFC. So they didn't want to accept that. So today, MMA guys, they cannot go boxing. I understand it's all business. You own the promotion agreement of your fighter. But I believe in the future, the MMA fighter and the boxer should meet depending on your status of a fighter. If you can sell pay-per-view, we should bring these two guys with these gloves. And I patented the glove. I patented the name BMA. I think it's time for us to do business. I hope soon Dana White bring me to do this business with him. I can be his prodigy. I understand a lot about both sports, but until they don't accept to do this business yet, I keep boxing, and Jacare will be a guy that makes sense. He beat me in MMA, so we're going to have a kind of revenge for me. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be 6 rounds. It's going to be boxing. And I think it's pretty interesting. I'll bring a new set of entertaining, like you said. Now we get to entertain, because MMA is hard on your body. When you get older, it's hard. But boxing, I'm telling you, I can box when I'm 60, 70. That's the good thing about boxing. You can box, and of course, not competing at the age. But boxing allows you to compete. If you're healthy, if you take care of your health, if you have longevity. And my lifestyle has always been training, prepare, especially with having 3 amazing kids. They're in competition every weekend. So I'm in camp, man. I'm in camp. I never leave camp. So I'm not just there competing MMA anymore. I'm glad. My joints thank me every day. I got you box people. They don't accept the BMA. We got you box.
Wait, so by the let me clarify. Is BMA, is that boxing martial arts? Is that Belfort martial arts? I thought it might be Belfort.
Boxing. No, it's boxing martial arts. So because when you say boxing, MMA is a mix of martial arts. Boxing is just hands. You didn't have the rules. The boxing martial arts, you can call dirty boxing, whatever you call. I call boxing martial arts because it's more branding. So I had that idea to patent that name because it makes sense. So we want to bring the MMA world and the boxing world together. I believe this is going to be able to sell masses of pay-per-views. And I hope these promoters of boxing understand that, and they say, listen, I think I'm going to listen to Victor. I think I'm going to bring Victor to my team, and I'm going to do business with him because I believe this glove is going to protect the fighters, no eye poking. There is no excuse for a boxer to not accept that kind of fight, to see who's the best fighter with their hands, because we have different angles. MMA have different angles, and I know they're not going to allow spinning punchings, but if they want to allow, we do spinning punch. If they don't want to allow spinning punches, it's okay. we can live with that. But I mean, we have different angles, and we can hand fighting you. So I think what boxing is boring, it's that clinch that doesn't happen. So the fun about MMA is the clinch is always something happen on the clinch. So if we bring BMA into this, just imagine it's just putting this two sport together. Imagine you see Ngannou fight Tyson Fury on this glove with that kind of rules. That's going to generate more what? More sales, because now the betting change. Now, would you say Ngannou has how many percent if Ngannou fight Tyson Fury with this glove, with this rule? How many percent you give Ngannou?
Well, it changes it a lot, because that's what I've said, is that, like, I want Francis to go make as much money as possible, but in a pure boxing match, I just don't think he has much of a chance. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say that.
He can get the bag of money and he go back to MMA. But I mean, what about now is the birth of a new sport? What
Right.
about now we bring this? So now, and they can still do their sport. They can still do the MMA. They can still do the boxing. Nothing going to change in their career. They're just doing something in the middle, totally entertaining. We, the fans, got to see something so brand new. It's just asking. It's just everybody's asking for this. The birth of a new sport in combat sport, and that's the mix of these two sports. And that's what I wanted to do it. And I challenge, Dana White, let me do it. I know you need to, you don't need to do it. Let me do the whole job. The promoters of boxing, I need to get there and bring in these fights into tuition, because to tell you the truth, PFL, I can see the whole, me, man, I'm a businessman. I can see the future. If you let me explain the future will be maybe UFC becomes like an NFL, okay? And then you have PFL, in the future, we'll be able to see this mixed martial arts champion from different organizations fight each other. But I think it's time right now for us, let's say Dana White doesn't want to let the fighters do it. PFL would, I think Bellator would. I think it's time for us to creating a common ground where they can do another job. Like example, you can do a blog. You can go maybe you have exclusivity to this, but you can do something else, So I think now fighters deserve, you have to earn your way out. Now, I'm not saying that everybody can do BMA, but I mean, when you earn yourself, when you have the belt, be fighting for multiple years, let the guy make some money, man. Let's do some business. It's time to, not just Conor McGregor did. So why not other do it? Why not other people do it? But now let's do it something, make it 50-50, Like you said, if you put these gloves, I put my money in Ngannou. If Ngannou go boxing, I put my money on Tyson. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
But now, just imagine the betting on these gloves. Which round? We're going to be an uppercut. It's going to be a hook. It's going to be on the clinch. It's going to be out of the clinch. He's going to try to escape the clinch, and he's going to caught him with an overhand. So now things are changing. More money, more sponsors, a new combat. So it's time for us to make money. So I'm here pitching my business. Whoever wants, just call me.
Vitor, I gotta talk to you more often, man. We gotta catch up more often, man. I can sit here and talk to you all day. I know you got a lot of interviews, so I won't keep you too long. But let me just ask you, man, what is still on the horizon for you in terms of competition, man? We saw Fedor Emelianenko walk away this past weekend. We saw Shogun walk away, a few weeks ago, and here you are booking boxing matches, trying to create new sports. I mean, you got your son playing football. You got your dog. I mean, I think you've got so much going on.
It's a reality show, man. I'm telling you, you don't understand. This house here is a camp every day. So I'm here talking. I was just there, and before now, the V is going to these universities and with this dream. My daughter is one of the best volleyball players. My other daughter is an amazing track runner. So the mechanic of my life is like this. I breed sports since I was young, and I always had a vision. So I encourage MMA legends to be able to do BMA or do boxing, because it's too hard on your body. And understand, the problem with these fighters, I'm not there. I wish they can hire me as a head coach, because the problem is like amount of sparring that they do. You know, they take care of their brain. They understand training. They do, because the problem with older fighters, they trying to do the same training that they did before. So you're gonna age you. You're gonna be slow. You're not gonna be able to perform well. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. If you come see me spar, if you come see me fight, I'm still fast. Because I'll be able to create new ways of training. You have to understand, in when you talk about performance, you have ages, you have times. You know, I don't do the same things in the weight room that the other people do. That's why I designed BFL, you know, the training, because I like to learn and study. You can still perform at your old age, but you have to find something that will fit your body. And I believe boxing is the niche, but I love boxing. But you know, my passion is to bring boxing, MMA into one sport. That's what I've been designing this for years. I've been wanting to do this fight for years. Holyfield didn't want to do BMA. I had to box him. Oscar De La Hoya didn't want to do BMA. I had to box him. He ran away like a dog and never appeared to fight me. And I mean, and he's a great promoter in boxing. But the time is the time to bring this two sport in one. And I hopefully Ngannou will let me bring these gloves. You know, I'll let him fight in this glove. I hope we can make this. What an opportunity to see the best heavyweights in champion UFC heavyweight. You know, trying to do something or become the forerunner of something. Let's at least give him the privilege to at least have 50-50. I think he's not supposed to be going box. Now he is the A side. I see Ngannou is the A side. So he is the guy who can take this. I'll love to give this glove for him to do it and be in BMA. Bring in BMA. Let me be co-promoter or bring in these rules. It's time to do that, because nobody wants to fight me under the rule. No one wanted. Even he chose to fight Anthony Perez, like the guy is at 170. You know, he's 200 pounds. So Roy Jones Jr. didn't want to risk. It's all about business. You know, boxing is all business. He didn't want to fight me. You know, he knows he's not going to win. That's why he chose Anthony Perez. And I mean, it is what it is, man. But you know what I do? You got what is in front of you. And if you cannot eat steak, you're going to eat chicken. I'm very thankful for my chicken. I'm very thankful for my alligator. I'm going to eat the alligator. So I'm okay with it. Let's go.
Vitor Belfort, I love talking to you, man. All right, this Friday night, we'll be watching you on PFL Challenger Series on Fubo Sports Network. And, man, I got to catch up with you more often. It's always a pleasure, brother.
Love you, man. Good to see you. You look fantastic.